Also, can I swear? I feel say fuck all the time.
Swear.
I don't want to
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, you can.
I've started
Alright, great.
recording.
This is not a under 18 podcast.
All right, great. It's good to know.
What's going
I
on,
guess it is.
guys? Can I introduce the show?
Yeah, hit it already.
All right.
Well, let's go.
What's going on, guys? Today is April 15th. It is Wednesday, episode 7 of the Utility Players Podcast. I'm your host, C Zipper. I am not going to go through your normal rundown today because today is a very special episode. We have a guest on the podcast. We'll get into him later. We'll introduce him later. Let's say hello to the fellas, though. Deegs, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. We got a grizzly-haired man with us today.
Our third member of the gang, Easton, what's going on in quarantine, man?
I'm excited. I'm pumped up to be here today.
Yes. And the grizzly man at the bottom of your screen right now is Arizona State commit, junior hockey alum, Benji Eckerly. Benji, thanks for coming on the Utility Players Podcast today.
Oh, it's a pleasure, Connor. It's an absolute honor to be in the presence of you and also your co-host.
Did you grow that beard for quarantine, or was it already there when it started?
I was growing it for playoffs, and then that got canceled.
You can't
so
shave it till you lose either.
Yeah, it's true. So I actually am not shaving until I lose the next hockey game I play in.
Which, who knows when that will be.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
So
Does 3-on-3 in practice count?
whatever, yeah. I'll use that as an excuse if I got to get rid of it.
I like it.
It feels like
All
cheating.
right.
I feel like summer beer leagues counts. 3-on-3 doesn't count.
Oh, true. Even that's going to be canceled, though. Although I feel like the stands are small enough there where it's like it's already social distancing.
That's true.
Well, there's only like 7 of us that show up anyways, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we can
Let's get into some news here before we start interviewing and getting into diving into Benji a little bit. So the first news that I found today, people have been leaking Roger Goodell's address so he can be booed still for the virtual online draft. We'll start with Benji. Benji, you got anything on this one? Thoughts on this?
Is that true? That's a true thing?
It's a true thing that there's articles out there that people are trying to leak his address so that like he can still get booed.
Oh, they're trying to. They haven't done it yet?
What are they going to do, like stand outside his house and like bang on the
They're
windows?
going to stand outside his house and like when he's on this, whatever they're doing and the first pick and people are going to start booing like out of his house. That's the amount of trolling. The amount of effort that people are going through to troll these days is ridiculous, but I am here for it. So
Yeah, nothing better to do.
I think like the rest of the sports world thinks he's the clown. He's a fucking clown. So
he is a clown. I actually Googled Roger Goodell to try and find like an article on the story, and the first thing that came up was Roger Goodell clown.
Because of the Barstool shirt.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
I didn't know that.
Barstool guys have that shirt and everyone wears them.
Interesting. I just thought that was funny. Bigger news for the Michigan State fans out there. This was a great day in college hoops recruiting yesterday, as the University of Michigan lost 2 5-star recruits in a matter of 24 hours. It started by already committed Isaiah Todd, 5-star forward. The announced, what do you say? I don't even know how you say it.
He's
Announced
going pro, right?
Yeah, he's going pro.
He
overseas.
decommitted.
Yeah, decommitted. There you go. I don't know why I say renounced. And then Josh
That's a big
Christopher.
word.
Josh Christopher, another 5-star recruit who had narrowed his choices down to Arizona State University, and the University of Michigan announced last night that he would be taking his talents to the Sun Devil Nation, just like our boy in this interview today. So any thoughts on that? I mean, for being a State fan, it made me smile, it made me laugh, and it was great energy to go along with another depressing quarantine.
Are you officially a State fan, though?
Yeah. I've been a State fan since the second football season ended because that was depressing. Like once basketball season came, like we actually had a competent team. I was like, all right, I'm here to stay.
You're rooting, when we were watching Michigan versus Army, you were getting pissed off that Army
that
was
was
beating
like
Michigan.
Well,
It's just so kind of sickening.
No. Well, listen.
Yeah.
Listen. So it was it was like the third week of school. So like you had to give me some time to like lick my wounds, whatever the phrase is. But anyways, I'm always gonna root. It's like I've rooted for Ohio State in the college football playoff against Clemson. I'm always gonna root for the Big Ten. Like I would rather Michigan State lose to a good Michigan team than a bad Michigan team. So if they lost to Army, they'd be a bad team, and we were gonna lose to them regardless. Like that makes us look like Michigan State look even worse. That's my thinking. I'm not to the level where I can like say like I want Michigan to lose every time they go out there against any opponent. But I'm not a Michigan fan. I'm a State fan. I can say that pretty confidently.
Well, this news is great. Being a State fan, or
Good
going to
insight,
State
Houston.
too.
That was
Yeah.
another. There's another.
Just wanted to
there's
get back
another-
to it. You guys
Dude.
got so like off track there.
Dude, there
I
is
just wanted to get
another
back into
like
it.
that is another just terrible quote from you. You're just full of terrible quotes. We
Well,
might have
no. They were both.
Benji
They were
after
both.
this.
That's what I
supposed to
said. He doesn't
pass
add
us.
anything of value to anything. He's just kind of there in the top corner.
Dude, he
I was
came in-
actually gonna say something like of value, but
Say something of value.
you.
Say something of value.
I was gonna say both these were two top 15 recruits, and Michigan hasn't had one since before the ESPN 100. So, them losing two in 24 hours was good. It's funny. Just like
I know
that.
you're a Michigan fan, Benji. Does this sadden you as a Michigan fan, or just seeing Josh Christopher choose Arizona State, your new team per se? Does that
Yeah,
make
the
you
whole
more happy?
I was watching the whole Josh Christopher thing happen, kind of as a win-win situation. I was just gonna be pumped no matter what.
Yeah,
happened. But when the Isaiah Todd, because I think that was the day after Isaiah Todd was like, "Yeah, I'm going overseas," and it was like,
yeah.
fuck, that's tough.
So would you
Also,
where
Michigan,
would you say
that's
you're at
crazy.
then?
Huh?
Arizona State fan or a Michigan fan?
I mean, I feel like I can hold those pretty much like at the same level. Like they're not.
Yeah,
gonna
you do
come
have the
talk to each other,
you
really.
do have the luxury of like being able to be a fan of both.
What if Michigan
Yeah.
plays Arizona State in the March Madness championship game? You got to root for one. You can't root for both.
Ugh.
It's like the
Arizona-
I
softest thing
mean,
you
if
can do.
if it's within the next 4 years, then it's Arizona State all day.
Yeah.
5 years from now.
I think after you're done at Arizona State, you're gonna say Arizona State.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I'm sure I will. I'll
But
send them
I-
a-
Question.
Yeah. I hate forks up. I hate how you call it March Madness championship game, Nick. It's the national championship game. That sounds way more prestigious.
It is the national championship game. It's true.
Yeah,
But like calling it the March Madness championship game, just like
Well, I was gonna say March Madness, but then my brain was working
Sounds
way
childish.
too fast. I was gonna call it March Madness, but then I thought calling it March Madness didn't imply it was a championship game, and then I found myself in quite the pickle.
you said national championship. I think you would have known what you meant.
Let's move on.
In other news in sports, this one, Christian McCaffrey signed an extension, and he is now the richest running back in NFL history. Golf clap to Christian. Love seeing guys get paid. Anyone with any thoughts on seeing Christian McCaffrey get a big payday?
Good for him.
That's it?
It's great to see. It's
What
great
do you
to
want
see
me
it.
to say? I mean, the guy's worth every penny.
Really? You think spending the money
Okay,
on
maybe
a,
not 16.
worth that?
Maybe 16 million's a little overkill.
In today's
but, I mean, you
NFL
got quarterbacks making 30 million, and he's a top 5 running back. So
Isn't the NFL like not guaranteed
at
money?
least last year he was.
Like, couldn't he just not get any of that?
They usually don't, but I think he has a lot of guaranteed money in his. No.
Yeah, I think that was part of what made him made the contract the richest, is that it did have the most
Yeah.
guaranteed money.
It's pretty
Yeah, I mean, he's
sick,
like the
man.
most versatile like offensive player in the game. So
Yeah, that's the argument I do see to it, and like that I do think it is a good contract, and that like he is such a dynamic running back, and that he catches nearly as much as out of the backfield. He takes handoffs, but like in today's NFL, like you saw it with the Chiefs, big playoff Dame, like that's nowhere near a Pro Bowl running back, and they won a Super Bowl with him. Like today's game, you don't need the running, like the pound it to the ground. The only team in the playoffs you saw make a run with that was Derrick Henry and the Titans. Other than that, it's all running gun football, throw the ball down the field, air raid attack. It's not pounded in the trenches football anymore. We're like paying a running back that much money. To me, I just think they're going to end up regretting that, paying that much money. Not saying he's not worth the money and like that he's a bad football player. I just don't think the position is what it was, say, 10, 15 years.
See, the part that I see, the best part of it is that it's only, I mean, granted he's making 16 million. It's 4 years, and they're not going to be paying him for 6 years after he retires. Like, it's short contract. I mean, not short, but like it's going to be good for his prime, essentially.
yeah, I mean that fourth year might be looking a little tough, but
Yeah.
It was 7, 8 years down the road. He's still making 16. He can't walk anymore.
He just needs a quarterback.
Yeah.
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 Instead of Kyle Allen.
Well, he's got one.
They
Teddy.
got,
Teddy
Teddy
Bridgewater. I don't know if he's the answer.
Dude,
I
I think
don't
he's
know.
legit.
I think he's Nick Foles part 2.
No,
Yeah,
I think he's
good
gonna be better.
Dude, he's way more athletic than Nick Foles.
Dude, he was
No,
good in
no.
Minnesota until he almost lost his leg.
Yeah, he was
I mean,
And
that's a
then what was
pretty
he,
big
5-0
thing to
last
like
year for
come
the
back
Saints?
from.
He was
Yeah, Nick
5-0
Foles
with the
was never
Saints
elite
last year,
ever.
wasn't he?
He was. I'm just saying that he like that great coming in as a backup role like Foles did when he won the Eagles the Super Bowl, and then he's gonna go get paid somewhere else as a starter after that, and just not and disappoint. That's just my take. I think that's what I think he's gonna end up. Moving on, some of the last news we have is that players, specifically Clayton Kershaw, said he won't play in the proposed Arizona League. And Drew Doughty in the NHL says if they were to hand out a Stanley Cup this year, it would be, quote, fake.
I agree.
I agree with both of those. I think we kind of talked about this in an earlier episode, but the proposed baseball is ridiculous and won't happen. So I don't think Kershaw is going to be to worry about that. And Drew Doughty, I agree. I think handing a Stanley Cup out without finishing a regular season or playing a shortened playoff would make it fake as well. But we would all know it.
It works in basketball
That's
because basketball, you already know who's going to win it all. There's like 4 teams that can win it, but hockey, like anyone can win it. It doesn't
the
work
only
like
people
that.
who would like this year's Stanley Cup playoffs is Toronto, and that's because Florida's about to catch up to them and knock them out.
Mm-hmm.
Value.
Yeah. No, so nothing really to debate on those news lines, but all right. So what we all been waiting for, our first interview. Benji, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell what makes you so special to join the Utility Players podcast.
Jesus Christ.
That's why you're deserving of us.
He came after us. We didn't go after him.
My name is Benji Eckerly, and I'm a junior hockey player. Actually, now.
Say 2 truths and a lie.
2 truths and a lie.
Don't do 2 truths and a lie. Just
I'll ignore that, and then but I don't know. I'm on this podcast because you guys asked me to be. I think Easton thinks of me as the token friend who.
You're kind of our only cool friend at this point.
Some clout.
Like you're the only one who has any
What
stories of
possibly
value.
give is like nothing, huh?
You're like the only one who has like any valuable stories or like does anything athletic.
Yeah.
I go and play
All right,
beer league
fair
hockey
enough.
once a week, and it's kind of cool.
yeah.
All right. So let's diving into the elite prospects. Obviously, you grew up around Michigan, just like us, playing hockey, just like us. Talk about playing hockey in Michigan, getting into the AAA programs. Talk about being my teammate and how good I was at hockey.
First of all, being Connor's teammate was amazing. I actually recruited you to the Stars. You know that, right?
Yeah,
I was trying to.
that is
acquire
true.
And me didn't work out too
Yeah.
well though.
Yo, I actually like vouched for Easton at a tryout, and the coaches said no. So
Your coach ain't good for
Okay, we were
ourselves.
talking about this before you got on. Who was? I guess I don't know if you should say who the other player was.
Only
But who
Easton
was it
cares.
that like?
Easton's really mad about it.
I made it instead of you.
Yeah, that they asked
Dude, I had
because
no idea.
you
We
told me
were
the story. You're
like
like, yeah, I think Easton's pretty good, and then they're like, well, how about this other kid?
No, you know what you missed,
Yeah, I don't know
Benji?
who the other kid was.
We ran through Easton's
Huh?
career, and in every single team he's ever played for. That was
That's-
exciting.
That would take
I'm
so
sure.
long. It's not even worth putting in the interview. So you can
Easton
Easton
continue.
was a solid youth hockey player. He just
Yeah.
petered out a little bit.
He's a journeyman.
All right, we're not here for this guy. We're here for this guy.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I mean, playing with Connor was great. You know, a big character guy in the locker room. You know, just loves eating stuff out of the garbage and entertaining the boys.
That was before I
Fiery.
did that.
Fiery.
In my
Competitive.
defense, when we were that young, I don't think I was eating stuff out of the garbage.
No, you grew
It was a
into that
developed skill.
trait. Yeah. It took years of hard work. But dude, I don't know. Wait, what do you want me to talk about? Like, I made a AAA team when I was fucking.
I don't know. Yeah, going through the process. I mean, other guys you played with. I mean, you played with Jenkins. You played with Stanika.
Yeah, I mean, I played for Compton. We had some like really good.
We're not
teams.
talking about them. We're talking about Benji.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about
Just
him
talk
growing up
about
playing in
AAA.
Michigan.
Talk about
But what's
AAA hockey
interesting
in
about me is
Michigan.
not me. It's about like all the other stuff that I'm involved with, right?
Yeah, exactly. But talk about AAA hockey in Michigan. Talk about your experience.
I mean, it was awesome. It's it's
Because
scary.
I never got to do it.
It's a war out there. Like kids are out there to hurt each other and stuff. It's fun, but
It's called it is hockey, you know.
it is hockey. Yeah, you're right about that.
Yo, happy Connor is.
I know.
So after your U18 year at Little Caesars, where you had 20 points in 22 games, not a big deal. 30 penalty minutes in 20 games. That's a stat you would see on my line. Actually, you'd probably see like 60 if you were looking at my elite prospects. But talk about getting recruited or seen by junior teams and how Janesville in the North American Hockey League became an option.
Well, it all kind of started like my U18 team. We were like really good, so we were getting scouted by people all the time. I mean, there's always scouts at U18 games and whatnot. But I hadn't really talked to anybody until like a weekend. I was talking to Shreveport, which is an all team. And I was like all set to go to Shreveport. Like I was like ready to sign a tender with them for the next season and everything. And then the weekend, like I was supposed to give them an answer on a Monday. And that Sunday is when Janesville, like the Janesville scout reached out to me. And then Monday, like night before I was supposed to give Shreveport the answer, they offered me a tender. Janesville did. And it was way closer to home and everything. So I was always going to go there.
How does that work in the NAL? Like, do you not get drafted? Or like, do you have to get drafted or do you just sign where you want to?
Well, there's so every team gets like 10 tenders. And you can like trade the tenders and whatnot. And basically you sign a tender, it's like a draft pick. So you just, that kid's like on your team for the next year. Gotcha. So I was able to sign a tender instead of waiting to see who drafted me. But
better.
Yeah, I mean, you'd rather sign a tender because you can sign with,
you
can choose to sign with the team as opposed to just get drafted. But
so
hold on. Sorry. I actually have a question. Like, if you didn't have a NAL tender offer, what would you have done like after high school that year? I'm just like, would you try to like try out for an all team? Like
I got drafted.
I've never known the answer. Would you have gotten drafted?
I mean, probably, yeah. There's a lot of kids like on my team that got drafted, so I probably would have got drafted and just gone to camp and like tried to figure it out from there. If I didn't make a team and like had nowhere to play, I wouldn't have played in a league that wasn't the NAL, you know.
Yeah.
What about like the BCHL or something? Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I did talk to like one or two BC teams that year. But yeah, if I didn't find like a BC or an all team to play for, I probably would have literally gone to like Schoolcraft or something.
Wow.
I had never heard I had never thought about that.
Yeah, I never really thought about that. Not even like GoJ or NoJ you would have even tried?
Oh, dude, I mean maybe, but like I don't think it would have lasted that long, like just being there.
Yeah.
Because I always wanted to go like D1. If it was like not that much of a possibility, then it was like not worth it, you know.
Yeah.
So
you want a D3 grinder athlete like me.
Were you even D3 or were you just club?
Wow, I was D3.
I was club.
Was that a serious question or no? I'm actually offended.
No, I'm just kidding.
It was definitely serious, but he doesn't want to offend you anymore.
That was fucked up. I'm sorry.
So Benji, at Janesville, I know kind of the first half of your season you were off to a slow start.
It's 0 goals in 3 months. My dad used to make so much fun of him.
Yeah, we were all worried for you, but you kind of hit some sort of breakout point where you rest of the season you average pretty much a point per game, maybe a little under. But do you specifically recall that breakout point, or?
Yeah, it was after Christmas break when he.
It was after my dad accosted him upstairs.
All right,
my dad talked to him for 45 minutes.
Sorry.
No, literally what happened is we had a kid on our team that ended up getting drafted in the NHL, Yakov Novak. And like I didn't have a goal, like I had like 6 points or something. And a kid got hurt and I got literally like one shift on Yakov's line. And then they like liked playing with me that shift, so I just like I just stayed there the rest of the year. And literally all I had to do was give this kid the puck and I would get points. It was awesome.
Really? I actually didn't know that.
Where's this about that?
No.
Yeah, no, literally I like I was fourth line, like getting scratched the whole first half of the year. Like I was like not playing at all. It sucked. And I got one like shift to the Yakov, like the kid got hurt, ended up getting a concussion. The kid was on his left wing. And so coach was like, X, go out there with him. And so I went and played one shift. and it was like a 3-on-2, and I was in the middle, and I drove as hard as I could to the net. Like I had never skated faster in my life. And I got back to the bench, and my coach was like, "Fuck yeah, actually, that's how you drive the net hard. Like you're going again." And I didn't play another shift on a different line the whole rest of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
Did that kid with the concussion ever come back?
He did, yeah, and that was sort of the moment of truth. Like it was that weekend, I think, that I got my first 2 goals actually in Minnesota. I scored my
Jesus.
first 2 goals. I was like fired up, like so excited. And we
You
got on the
Tom
bus.
Brady'd
after-
him.
Huh?
You Tom Brady'd him.
Dude,
He got
well,
injured and you just took his spot. Like Tom Brady took Bledsoe's spot.
Dude, well, fuck. We got on the bus afterwards, and
This blew his mind.
we got on the bus afterwards, and I remember like sitting on the bus, just like, I mean, it was on my mind the whole time. Like, all right, that's the last game before Eric comes back, the kid that was hurt. And I was just sitting there, and Yakov came up to me, and he was like, "Hey, we were just talking to coach about you." I was like, "Yeah." Like, okay. He's like, "Yeah." He's asking us if we wanted to play with you or Eric, like Palmquist, when he came back. I was like, "Okay." He's like, "We said you," and I was like, oh, "Okay." Like, fuck yeah. Like hell yeah. And then that was it. Like we never, like we were our first line the rest of the year, so that was nice.
It's kind of crazy to like think about like if he didn't get hurt, you really wouldn't have had that opportunity. You're probably not get noticed by Tri-City for the next year.
No chance at all. I would have been. I mean, I just would have had to like wait till the next year to start getting more playing time and everything.
Yeah.
Would you have played another year in the Null?
I was all set to. Like if I didn't make Tri-City, I mean, I was going back, and I was like totally happy with that. I was actually really excited going into the camp with Tri-City because it was like I felt like free to do whatever I wanted to do. Because like if I worked really hard and I made the team, then like awesome, I made the team. But if I got cut, then it was like I'm gonna go back to Tri-City and
We had nothing
go
to
back
lose.
to Janesville and like be a top guy. So
Yeah. That was kind of the next question. Like, how did you get on Tri-City's radar in the first place? And you just answered. What was your expectations in going into camp after getting drafted in like what the 20s round, like pretty late?
I think I got drafted like 14th round.
14.
But yeah, they I mean, there was always like you talk to like everybody and they'll like your advisor or your coaches or whatnot, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, we talked to this team about you," like rattle off a bunch of teams.
Mm-hmm.
And that had happened like my whole like when I was in at Caesars my 18th year, like my coach would tell me all the time, like, "Yeah, we talked to this school and like USHL teams or whatever, like you're interested in you," and then I would never get drafted or talk to any of them or anything. And but then literally like I didn't know like if any of it was like legit, like any interest or whatnot. And then I talked to the night before the draft when the assistant coach at Tri-City like called me, and he had 2 questions. He goes, "Hey, so if we or what kind of player do you think you are?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm a 2-way forward or whatever." And
The basic.
Yeah, it's a
gave
pretty
him, like,
safe answer.
Gave him a little spiel, and then he goes, "All right, if we drafted you, would you want to play here next year?" I was like, "Yeah," like obviously, yeah. And he's like, "All right,
like, where is Kearney, Nebraska? Where is that?"
Yeah,
That's my only question for you, sir.
Drive till you
Dude,
see
I was just
corn.
happy to like be talking to a guy. It was awesome. But he was like, "Yeah, you're on our draft board, so like that's all I got." And then he hung up. And then the next day, it was like, I remember watching the draft board like all day, and I remember being in like for my exit meeting, I was in the coach's office, and like we were talking about whatever, and they had the draft board up there, and like I watched my one buddy from my team get drafted to Tri-City in like the 7th round, and I was sitting there wondering like, all right, come on, like like I gotta be coming up here soon. Like, and then like I completely forgot about it. I was at like the mansion in Janesville, like that gigantic house sort of in the middle of the woods and everything. And then yeah, like the coach of City called me and told me that they just drafted me. I was like,
Do we lose him?
Yeah, is he glitching for anybody else?
Yeah, he looks angry.
He's frozen.
I lost him on like do you want to play? Like, we just drafted you. You want to play? And I was like, "Oh, what do you say?" And then
It was
just
getting so intriguing too.
yeah, it was.
Hey, you got to
Actually,
reset it. You're frozen. Just reload it.
Is a malfunctioning podcast right now. An
Yeah,
absolute.
I
debacle.
think it's Zooms is somewhat of it.
It's got to be.
Well, you is probably your Wi-Fi or something. Can you just close it out and reopen the meeting? Yep. Oh, you're gone. All right, now reopen it.
Call me a good teammate.
I know. Connor, you look so happy when he was talking about you. You
No,
were sitting
he-
there like next to the camera like this.
What?
No, he is not being honest because he fucking
Um,
hated it when I was on the Stars with him. Because I dicked around so much, and he was always like took it pretty seriously. But yeah, I goofed around so like Easton played with me. I goofed around so much, and he did not like it.
Yeah, Connor was that kid who lit you up in practice because he was bored.
That was just because you were an easy target.
Yeah, I know I was small, but there's other small kids.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like you know how happy he is about the fact he lit you up too. I've never seen Connor smile so much.
I always forget about it, and then he's.
Dude, you came to school the next day and you started bragging about how you lit up Easton in front of his dad. And like you told me about it like 6 times. Like, yeah, dude, he went to turn. I just lit him up. Totally cheap hit, right in the face, didn't care. I was like, why are you bragging about that? And Easton was just sitting there like, yeah, it's real funny. You're like bragging to me that Easton showed up and you like slapped him and he was just pissed. Like, dude, shut up.
Shut up, bro. We're about to lose to St. Clair Shores by 9 tomorrow, okay?
You know we beat you in 3-on-3.
I mean, I took 3-on-3 harder than the actual games that year just because, like, we were so bad that I would, like, genuinely, like, be like, all right, I have to win something this year, and it would be the 3-on-3 we played.
Dude, we used to literally we would take pictures of us in the locker
Yeah.
room after as like a championship photo.
Yeah, peep my Insta, yeah.
Yeah,
Keep my
that's how
Insta.
bad it was.
Dude, I was looking at my Instagram the other day, and I had posts from, like, when we, like, beat certain teams. That's how little we won. Like, we won a big game. I would post, like, upset, and it'd be us in the locker room. Like,
Yeah.
we beat Plymouth.
No, my
like, I
favorite
have a-
picture on your Instagram is you at
like,
Hooters.
upset versus Plymouth. Upset.
I love
This is like 7th grade.
Dude, I love 12-year-old. Sometimes I go on there just to find like your old pictures, and I see 12-year-old Connor at Hooters, the biggest smile on his face I've ever seen.
I don't delete anything. I don't delete anything.
Or the one where you're mean mugging with your grandma.
That's a great picture.
That's a classic.
Great picture. That's got to go up somewhere.
Maybe we should just run through a
on
slideshow of your
YouTube
best
players.
pictures.
Yeah, we should.
Dude,
We
did Benji
should-
just
yeah.
decommit from our podcast?
Yeah, he said mid-interview, you know what? I'm just really not feeling the utility players anymore.
I don't blame him. I mean, it's probably tough to be the 4th most talented person in a group.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if Benji's gone, we can talk about our hockey experience as Novi Summer 18-plus Beer League Tuesday night C Division champions. That was pretty exciting this past summer.
Defending champs.
I mean, I think every team we played was like 45-plus.
I don't know about 45, but they were 30 plus.
We got Mercy like 9-1 the first game.
It was like, oh yeah, we did get.
Yeah, I killed.
Yeah.
What's
And
Lisa
then
doing?
we beat them like, what did we lose, like 8-2 or something?
We lost them like 8-1. Like we might have scored a goal with like 10 seconds left, but it was
Because our
like
goalie
8-1.
was 7 beers deep.
We were playing, and the guy comes over like, oh, or like warm me up, and he's like, "Where do you guys all play?" And Cruz is like, "Oh, we all play like college hockey," and then we lose 9-1 to these random kids or random old men.
Yeah, I was gonna say old men. They were like between the ages of 25 and 55 too. They look like
The
they
one guy comes over and goes, "Every time you
knew each
guys
other
score,
well.
you have to take a shot to make it like more fair." Then they score
Yeah.
6 straight on us, and we're like, "Oh god."
Are you talking about our beer league game last year?
Yeah, that's our next
Yeah.
question. How does it feel to be a Tuesday night 18-plus C Division Novi Beer League champion?
It feels like retarded.
I mean, that could be the last championship you ever win if you think about it.
I mean, that's really sad.
That's probably the
actually,
last
but-
one I'll ever win.
No, dude, we would have won it this year for our
If
beer
there's
league.
gonna be hockey.
Yeah, boy, we have to do like a higher division now. You realize that,
Because
right?
Yeah.
Easton couldn't play on Sundays, and you made us all suffer.
Yeah, you didn't want to play on B League on Sundays, so you
Dude,
just.
I said you guys could play Sundays without me, and you guys were like,
Yeah, we
all right,
didn't
we're gonna
want
play
to
You
Tuesday.
said it with that tone though, where it was like, "You guys
Yeah.
can play without me,
It was
whatever."
it was like when the
That's
wife
true.
says like I'm fine, okay? I'm
Yeah.
fine. Easton was like, I'm fine if you don't play with me. He was giving us that tone where
And then we said, I guess we'll play on Sundays. Easton's like, no, don't play on Sundays. Play on Tuesdays. Like he's like trying to make us like feel bad about it. Then we went from playing like 20-year-olds to like 35-year-olds that could like hardly half of them could hardly skate.
Dude, I almost got in a fight with an old guy.
I remember that. Yeah.
Benji set the record
It
for
was
most
the-
points.
Yeah,
And
it
their
was
team was like trying to chirp me and stuff. It was messed up.
You're the
this
only player committed
kid,
D1
like,
that entire
hacking
league.
us.
Dude, there was I don't know if it was last year or the year before there, but there was a kid who played for Bentley. Like was
That
on
was 2
Bentley.
years ago.
That was definitely 2 years ago because last year
Yeah.
there was no kids.
Yeah, no, not at all. But he was like legit on Bentley's D1 team.
Who was there when we played when Coombe shot the puck off that one kid's face? The one kid yelled at him to keep the puck on the ice. And Drew's just like, what are you talking about? He's not with a mask. Keep the puck below the shins. And I was like, what? That
He
was just
literally turned around and whipped it to PK. It's this like 22-year-old like
kid
squaring
with hair down to like his hips, right in the face.
his buddy like goes down to like make sure he's okay. He gets up and gives Coons this like a scowl and is like he's like, dude, keep the puck on the ice, man.
That pretty much summarized our beer leagues.
The rep started laughing harder than us. He's like, what?
Connor, did you get any beer league fights in the summer?
No, I had 0 penalty minutes in 2 years.
Josh Mitchell got 4 penalties in one game during a summer beer league game.
Yeah.
Name drop.
Did you get a penalty, Benji?
I don't think so.
Did anyone on our team ever get in a fight? I
No,
put
I got-
money that the Ackerleys would double team someone. I was very certain that would happen at some point.
Gannon played.
That one time we got in like a scrum, the old guy was like on top of Al and was like shaking him around like on top of him. And I just took the guy like by like his collar basically and like started taking him off Al and he stood up and was like looking at me and then everybody was like whoa 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 whoa. It was just,
So Benji, we didn't get to hear the answer to that question. What was your reaction when you made Tri-City?
I was fired up. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't really like a moment when you make it. It's just like you continually don't get cut.
Wait, so were you like with the boys like in the house when you got the call, or were you just kind of by yourself?
Are you talking about when I made Tri-City or when I got drafted?
I'm talking about when you got drafted. I think.
No,
Connor
I was
said
talking about when
made
you
it.
actually made it.
Yeah, we're past when he got drafted. We're moving on.
Yeah, I mean, when I got
He
drafted,
was in
I
the
was, like,
mansion.
yeah, all the boys like knew. They were excited for me. It was pretty cool. But when I like made it, it's not really like that. It's just like you're playing games. Like I played every game that I was healthy for last year. So like I was just in the lineup, and then I was in the lineup all the time. So it was never like there was never like a moment. It was just like, all right, I'm just gonna keep doing this.
Is it almost like watching the movie Miracle? You know, when they're like cutting people and like so like, you're just doing business as normal, and then someone calls you into a coach's office and says, all right,
Yeah, that's like exactly what happens.
Okay.
Yeah, like I mean, people just like you always know honestly when people get like traded or whatever. Especially like this past year, we kind of knew when people were gonna get cut or like when like what was coming, you know. And so you'd see like a coach go up to a certain guy who was like not gonna make it.
Like when they cut Ralph Cox and the whole locker room just goes quiet.
Yeah, that's what I'm picturing.
that's
that's what I'm
literally- that's
picturing. Do you guys just sit there and when someone's like, "Hey, coach needs to see you," and you're all like,
Dude,
"I'm gonna miss you, buddy."
I've never had it like that intense, but yeah, that's like exactly what happens. It's like everyone knows. Everyone's heads sort of turn. They go, "Oh, Jesus!" Like,
How many people like get cut during the year or like get traded from your team?
I mean, we start out camp with 30 to 32 guys, something like that, and then your roster's 23. But you usually have like a couple more than that because they can use the affiliate list, like work the roster a little bit.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, you watch like in terms of guys that come and go. Like this year, we probably had like 10, 12 guys like come and go.
Are they like older guys or are they like younger guys that just aren't good enough?
It depends. I mean, it's mostly younger guys. Like they bring a lot of extra young guys to camp, hoping like they'll turn out to be like stars or whatever, or like they're more like high potential guys. Yeah, it's older guys too. Like we had a bunch of like older, like both of our goalies got dished this year, or like one
That
got
was
cut,
wild.
got traded. Yeah, like with like on the same day.
Talk
How
about,
do you know that, Connor?
dude, I'm an avid Tri-City fan. I follow them on Twitter.
I probably talked about it.
He just
I
goes,
probably
that was
knew-
wild.
I probably knew more about what Anthony Noreen said to the press than what Benji did.
That guy's a genius, man. He's so good at what he does.
Yeah. So talk about that. Talk about your first year in Tri-City. Were you happy with kind of how you played per se? And the team was really good. You guys won what's the regular season called?
Anderson Cup.
Anderson Cup. And you guys had what, 2 or 3 guys make a World Juniors roster and 2 or 3 draft picks as well, right?
Yeah, I think we had 5 draft picks and then like two guys on the World Junior team, or 3 guys on the World Junior team actually.
So describe that.
We
Was
like,
that
Hmm?
well, obviously it wasn't your first time playing with NHL talent because you played on Novak's line, but like, was it the first time you were kind of like wowed by like just being around that much talent in one spot per se?
I mean, yeah, dude, last year was like crazy. I mean, it wasn't like we didn't really have that high of expectations of ourselves like going in. Like we all wanted to be good, obviously, and you like say that,
Yeah.
but you don't really know. And then all of a sudden we're 10 games in and we're 9-1 or whatever, and then we just keep winning. Like it was just never a doubt. Like we went into every game like knowing we were gonna like win or at least like have an unreal chance to win. And before the trade deadline, we had like really good players, but we didn't have that much like all like NHL, all USHL kind of talent, you know?
Yeah.
We were just like a really solid team. Like I remember being like we were probably like 25 games in and we didn't have anybody in the top 40 in scoring and we were first in the league. So like we didn't have any like stars. We were just like solid. Like, we were super deep and it was just like fun to play all the time. And like I was on the 4th line and we would roll lines, so I would play all game.
Really?
Yeah, it was awesome. Like
Is that usual to USHL to roll lines like that?
I mean, if you can, but it's not. Generally, there's like 1 or 2 lines that go every other, or like play a hell of a lot more than the other lines
Yeah.
do. But for us, like basically, I was on the 4th line the whole time, and our whole role was just like shut down the other team's top lines. So they would just put us out there whenever the other team's top line was out there, and then like we would get no points basically, or like nothing, like offensively. But they would never get scored on, so they would just keep putting us out there. And then the rest of the team was just rolling too.
Yeah.
Did you ever
But
get
yeah,
in a
that team
fight in juniors or no?
No, I never ended up getting in a fight.
Did you want to? Were you ever close?
I mean, there's plenty of like every game. There's like scraps and like guys' faces and whatnot. But I mean, fights in general were super rare. Like we might have had 1 fight this year, like the whole team.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's just not. The problem is you get 15 minutes in the box, so like it's not worth it. And especially like
You
last
get
year.
15?
Yeah, you get a 5 and a 10. And so,
Jeez.
dude, last year or this past season, it was just not worth it. Like if I was in the box for 15 minutes, then like that was like gonna hurt our team, you know. So you only really want to fight if it's like the game's over or like you really want to, but you're not allowed to fight in the last like 5 minutes of a period or of the 3rd period either.
Or else
So
what? You
it's
get
like-
suspended?
Yeah, you get suspended for I think 2 games.
So you're telling me in 3 years of juniors, there was no like game where you were like just chirping someone's ear, like the same guy specifically, just you guys were just chapping each other the entire game, like going back and forth, and you never like tussled or anything like that?
No, I mean that would happen, but there wouldn't be like we just wouldn't drop the gloves, or like it would be with a guy that like we're not gonna like it would happen on Janesville, and like I'm not gonna in playoffs, and like it's the same sort of thing. Like you get 10, 12 minutes, whatever it is in the box.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna like just sit out for 12 minutes when we're in like game 3 of a playoff series.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's literally they've made it like inconvenient to fight now, just as an effort to like get rid of it. Not
It's
saying
sad.
like,
it's sad.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean I wish I would have fought. Like I hate like I feel like so soft that I never ended up fighting or anything. But,
So what was your spike in penalty minutes too? Because you went from 12 to 50.
dude, that was just weird. Like really weird. I was just getting penalties all the time. I think I was just being more like of a dick. Like I was just being more aggressive.
More aggressive, second year in the league, kind of thinking.
Yeah, like I was
you
just
own it.
Old guy.
They're like thinking I ran the show and just trying to get away with stuff and then not getting away with it, obviously. But that was really weird. Like I had more penalty. I had doubled my penalty minutes within like the first 20 games or something.
Were they like trips? Were they like roughings?
Probably like
No, I mean
slashing,
they were
feel
like there's like a bit of both, a bit of everything. It was a lot of like interference or just like like roughing or whatnot.
The first 4 years of my hockey career, I had 6 career penalty minutes, and they were all for body checking.
Nice.
I got a penalty for body checking Luke Boca, and he like destroyed me when I hit him, and I got a
And
penalty.
you got a penalty for it?
Yeah, probably my hockey highlight, to be honest.
Dude, that guy was a beast when he was little too.
He was like
Yeah,
6'4".
he was.
Yeah, he was an animal.
Well, the scariest part, he was like, what, 5'10", 180, and then he grew to be like 6'3", 190, just shredded.
Yeah, no, he was a terrifying kid to play against.
Yeah, he was fast.
I laid him out.
Fuck too. No, he didn't.
Sounds like he laid you out.
Yeah, I got like hurt from it, but they made me go sit in the box. I was like crying. I was like 10 years old.
Now, you said you had 6 penalty minutes in your first 4 years.
Probably. I was
probably-
you
I
had 6
had
penalty
that in
minutes
my
your first
first
shift.
period. I was gonna say I had that in my first period of organized hockey.
You're just such
Sick.
a hothead, Connor, dude. You would snap like.
Yeah, we were
it
talking
would
about that
take
too,
nothing,
Benji.
you would
Did you
snap.
actually like being his teammate? Because I remember you bitching about it a lot at school about how Connor was such a
No, I
retard.
said he was being nice because he hated it. He hated how much I goofed around and how much of an like idiot I was like on the ice too.
Okay, that was my problem when I was a kid. I took it so seriously, and by the time you were on the Stars too, I had been on that team for like the team
The
was
Star.
I've been on the team
Yeah.
for like 6 years. So like all I wanted to do was like win a state title. And I was like, boys, we're gonna get focused. We're gonna like this. And I was like not I was not about like joking around and having fun. I wanted to like win.
But we had some boys on that team that were like even worse than me about joking.
Oh yeah, that team was full of idiots, man.
Yeah.
All we did was goof around. I would
I
get
don't
so
want. Yeah, we're not gonna name drop. We were young adolescent 6th and 7th graders. In
yeah,
sixth and seventh
just
grade.
picture that, and then picture that one hardo who just like yelled at everybody to be quiet, like focus
The
on
kid
game.
punching the
That was-
walls.
Hey, but it's glad we're
Yeah.
interviewing you and not me, right?
Yeah, I mean, fair enough, I guess. It all happened when we were in 6th grade, man.
True.
Where it all went down.
So, getting back on the storyline of your magical junior hockey career, what was the timeline of getting recruited, like college-wise? Like first year, obviously, because you committed. Did you commit during the season, your first year?
I
Arizona.
like February, I think, mid-February.
Okay. So, were you getting recruited college prior to the season, or did all that kind of pop once you got to Tri-City?
Yeah, it's sort of like the junior hockey thing. Like you would hear like it would be like hearsay, like your coach would say, "Oh yeah, like this team's interested in you," or "I talked to these guys about you," or whatever.
Yeah.
And that sort of went on for like a while until like my whole null year, and then but then at the showcase, I mean, in Pittsburgh, which is the first like couple of games of the USHL season, actually my first preseason game, I like scored a goal. I scored a goal, maybe got an assist or something, and like the day after, Clarkson called me, and that was like a legit school, and I was like, holy, like what? Like this league is awesome.
You were like, God damn, I love the USCHL.
Dude, I was like so fired up, and then like I didn't really talk to anybody else, and then we got to the showcase, and my first game of the showcase, I had 2 goals and an assist, and I was literally like, I'm gonna rip this up.
I am going to get a
I'm
Division
gonna have
1
100
offer.
points. Like this is gonna be amazing.
Oh, you were like, this league is for beer league players.
No, literally, I didn't know what to think because I was like, I know I'm not good enough to like have this many points. Like if I was like scoring goals and stuff all the time in this league, but like imagine if that happens. And I just wanted to I was fired up. But then I knew it wasn't legit because after the next game, like I didn't talk to any schools after that game, and a bunch of kids from my team had gotten called out. We're talking to schools and stuff, but not me. And I had the 2 goals and assist or whatever. And then the game after that, like same thing, like I didn't get called out to talk to anybody, and then like I was in the lobby and I talked to 2 Atlantic schools. Like I talked to like Niagara or Sacred Heart maybe and Holy Cross or something.
Define
like-
talk. Define talk. What does that
Basically,
mean?
like one of the assistant coaches who's there scouting will come up to you and like introduce themselves and be like, "Oh yeah, we're really like we love the way you play. Like we're really interested in you or whatever." Like, and here's some info about our school and like just chat you up for like a few minutes, and then they'll be like, "All right, we'll get in contact with you later." Like they're not gonna offer you or anything like that, like on the spot.
Yeah.
Sacred Heart
basically
did
just-
offer you later, didn't they?
Holy Cross did, yeah.
That's what I was thinking.
We'll let him get into the timeline of it.
Yeah.
Well,
Keep
so
going.
basically that happened, and then like for the next like months, like until probably Christmas break, I was talking to strictly like Atlantic schools. So I was talking to Sacred Heart, Holy Cross, Niagara, like all those places, Bentley, and I like those are all like D1 places to play and everything. But I wanted to like go to like a more prestigious hockey school.
Yeah.
So I was like not ready to commit to any of them, and so Holy Cross ended up offering me like right before Christmas break. And I came home with like this offer and stuff, and I basically knew like I wasn't gonna take it. And so then I ended up like saying no to them. And then the day I got home from Christmas break, actually, like my flight got in at like noon, and I had barely slept or like anything. We had like a good night the night before and stuff, and I got in and like got a call from the Arizona State like head coach or assistant coach Mike Field, who's like Ken Field, my trainer's brother. So like he had like texted me a couple times before and everything. And that was the other thing. I got like texts from other schools, but I didn't like talk to them, or like I talked to them on the phone like once, and that I hear back from them. So not like serious interest. But then ASU was like actually seriously interested in me, and I had like a great talk with the coach and everything. And then they offered me, or they wanted me to come on a visit later. And I known from talking to Ken that like they only take kids on visits if they're gonna like offer them.
Really?
Which is typical for like most schools. So I was like going in there like, holy cow! Like,
Was your visit like insane?
I was so excited.
Going to Arizona State for a visit, was that like insane?
It was
Arizona
cool. Yeah,
State's
we didn't.
sick.
It was super cool. I mean, I didn't really get to like go out and like do that much. Basically, it was their off day, and like they weren't doing that much. So I just went and like I got food with a bunch of guys that I was staying in a dorm with, and then the next day I basically just had like this cool tour of the campus, and then went and got dinner with the coach, and then that's where they offered me. And like right when he offered me, and he told me like what the scholarship was, because I was not expecting like the legit scholarship. I was expecting like, whatever 1 for 4 or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I basically knew I was gonna like take it. I was like, this is like I can't say no to this. I remember calling Alex like right when I got to the airport. I called Costi, and Costi was like, "Holy cow! Oh my god!" Like just so fired up. Like I can't believe it. Like, dude, I always thought this was just like a dream. Like he was like more excited than I was. It was hilarious. And then I called Alex, and I remember being like, he was like, "All right, dude, we need to think about this rationally."
He's like irrational person I know. Between Holy Cross and Arizona State.
Well, I mean, the thing about that is if like a school offers you a scholarship, like a legit, like a good school, like ASU, then basically all the other schools that you've heard rumors about or whatever would like come out of the woodwork because they know it's like a threat now, you know?
Yeah.
Like if they're gonna like actually recruit me, they have to do it now. And so then like it's like a domino effect. Like more schools are interested in you, the more will be interested. But basically, we made a T-chart of pros and cons, and there was like a bunch of things on the pros list, and like we couldn't think of one legitimate like con. And so he was like, "All right, you're going, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I'm going."
That's awesome.
I talked to my like coach the next day, and he was like, he was like all for me committing there, so that pretty much sealed the deal.
I was gonna ask you like, what made you pick like Arizona State? Because I know you got offered from Sacred Heart, and you kind of like thought more in depth how your style of play didn't really like fit in there. And so you also mentioned how you want to go to like a prestigious hockey school, and with Arizona State being kind of new for Division I hockey, like why did you jump on Arizona State right away rather than waiting for say Michigan State or even a Penn State, even with the offer?
I mean the whole like it being new thing actually like really appealed to me because they like the coaches are really good at selling it to you too, because it's like their rise has been really good, right? Like
yeah, I mean they've had
they're
a
only
lot of
6
success.
years old or ever. They made the tournament last year. They were slated to make the tournament this year. If all this stuff didn't happen. But it's like it's kind of cool to be part of like we get to make the history there, you know what I mean? Like the thing they sent me was like be the tradition. That's like the motto. It's like, yeah, it's a really cool thing to be able to like set the tone for a for organization, like help build it from the ground up. I don't know, that was like a really cool thing to like be a part of, I thought. So it didn't really matter that it doesn't have the history. It's like it hasn't had the opportunity to have a history. And it's not like hard to recruit guys there. Like I said,
Yeah.
like a con. It's like
The middle of
Yeah.
Arizona State. Arizona State is not a hard sell for most 18 to 22-year-old kids.
Yeah,
exactly.
especially when they're good at hockey.
Yeah. So
It's gonna be weird when you have to take classes though, if you haven't taken a class for haven't been in school
Yeah,
for 3
what
years.
is that going to be
Yeah.
like? You're going to go into this first class in the fall and be like, how do I write? When's the last time you wrote something down?
dude, I write things all the time.
even know how to write?
Your signature doesn't count. You signing
Yeah.
your
Whatever.
Oh,
But no, I'm like pumped to go back to school. Like it'll suck, obviously, like the learning curve of it, but
mhm.
I don't know. I'm excited to like have, dude. You know how boring junior hockey gets? Like, I had to try and make up things for me to be interested in, like to do. There's so much free time. So like now that free time will be covered by things to do. So it's actually
Yeah, what is your what's an average day like? No, like after practice or really not much going on. What's it look like in Kearney, Nebraska? What are you up to?
basically
What's
we
your
would have
free time?
we would have a workout, either a workout or a skate or both, depending on the day. In the morning, and the skate would be like a half hour, and the workout like an hour or whatever. So that would be like 10. So from like 10 to 11:30, we'd be at the rink, and then we'd go home, eat, and then just hang out for like 2 hours, and then go back to the rink and have like actual practice, and then go home and be home by like 4:30, and then do nothing, like just hang out. Like we'd like play Xbox or PS4 or whatever with the boys, or watch a movie or whatever. Like go to somebody's house. But like that was all free time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if that was all spent like at our house, like you get pretty damn bored. And then
Like
the weekends,
quarantine.
like if you have an off day, like you're literally doing nothing. Like you have no scheduled thing to do, so you can like, I mean, you just go hang out with your friends or whatever, like choose something to do. But
The boys.
double ways, baby.
I have one last question. One thing about recruiting. So was Arizona State the only school you visited, right?
Yeah, that was my only visit.
Okay. And you said so is it common that most schools if they're asking you for a visit, they're asking to for an offer?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like standard practice essentially.
Yeah,
Like, they
I
don't
would think
wanna-
I would think it's pretty standard across all sports.
Yeah, seemingly. I mean, you only get like the 5 official visits or whatever, so it's kind of
Yeah.
like shitty for a school to waste your time. Basically, if they're gonna have you on a visit and then not offer you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause I know D3 it was they want you just because of tuition money. That they're gonna cut you right when you get there if you're really not that good. But they'll let anybody come for a visit, and if they let you come, if they go and they watch your high school games that spring, and it's okay, you can be on the baseball team now. So you basically they help admissions help get people on visits without actually recruited. It's more like you're going to look at the baseball school as opposed to they're actually inviting you, and then they invite you back.
Does it count as like an official visit still or no?
No, because there's no scholarship there's no
Oh yeah, that's right.
scholarship offer.
That's just so shitty to get
campus
recruited and then just cut.
Yeah, no, because my freshman year there was 30 kids. They only recruited 22, but 32 freshmen showed up for the first day, and by the end of my sophomore year there was 5 of us.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
and they cut 9 after that spring, 9 or 10 just after that freshman fall. They cut another 2 or 3 right before the season.
Yeah, that's ruthless.
Yeah. Well, that's different. That's like a D3, there's so much more turnover than a D1 just because of
Yeah.
commitment level is obviously level of play.
So you played 2 years in Tri-City now. How
Yeah.
would you say this second year compared to the first year in terms of being the older guy with the younger guys? I mean, I guess you were an older guy.
You hung out with high
being one of
schoolers.
the younger guys last year. How would you
Yeah,
say
I mean,
Joke.
the whole motto, or not motto, but your whole day-to-day kind of changed with going from first year to second year?
Yeah, it was just I mean, our team was way different than last year. Last year, our leadership group and tons of the guys coming in and stuff, we were way older than we were this year, just in general, and way more confident in everything going in, way more experience. And then this year, we had 8 8 or 9 guys, I think, that had played U16 the year before. So
Wow.
like these guys are going from playing U16 hockey to playing USHL, and that's like a hell of a step. So there's definitely like a learning curve going on, and then, but like the potential was like there in bunches. Like we had so many good kids. We had like 6 kids on central scouting at the beginning of the year. Like we were legitimately very talented. Just like the day to day or like the personal responsibilities was like, yeah, I have to be like a leader now. Instead of just like before I could just like take it. Like I just let the dudes in charge like do what they're gonna do instead of everything up, and then like I'm taking part in it. And also now I'm like setting things up and then trying to be like build the way for like these young kids to figure out how to play junior hockey and then like live on their own and everything.
What about like authority wise? Like last year, obviously you looked up to, say, what did you have, 4 draft picks or something like that? A few guys in the World Juniors.
Yeah.
This year, I mean, I haven't really looked at the team, but not that
I
level
did.
of caliber.
Connor knows the whole team. He's a super
I
fan.
know.
He's been on their
know
Twitter.
I know how many points every single guy in that goddamn team had.
He knows what their haircuts look like.
Okay, but as far as authority, like obviously those guys got looked up to.
Ask
but, like,
your
how would you say,
question.
like,
Yeah,
I'll
this is
give
kind of a
it
long
easy.
question. I might just
I
ask
was gonna
mine.
say, like, how is it this year? Like, is it more just like second year guys, or just kind of like F you
I
to
love
the
your
younger
I love
guys?
your lead into questions. Like,
Yeah, no, that was actually really professional, but it just took way
like
too long.
Yeah. You're no,
You
like,
guys just
I
started
love how
roasting
you
me
build
before we get to
into
the
it.
question.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
I know,
going into a
sorry.
question. Like,
No, I thought it was funny.
not all of us follow the Tri-City Storm Twitter account.
All right, Easton, I would say that it's less like talent. I mean, it is something to do with like talent and everything, like who are the best players, but it's more to do with like who are the like locker room leaders, if that makes sense. Oh my god.
What's he laughing at?
But like for example, like our one of our captains, Joe Berg, was like a third, fourth line guy, like both his years. Like this guy's like a grinded out kind of guy, and he was like undisputed the leader, you know. So it's less about like talent. Like you don't really, so like the guys who got drafted to the USH or to the NHL, like those guys were really good, but they weren't necessarily like our leaders. Like they weren't our captains or anything. The one that would be was like Ronnie Adder. He was a beast, but yeah, I don't know. It's more about like just being the older guys and like trying to lead. And like we had talent, like crazy talent, but all of our talent was like really young. Like our best player, our second leading point getter was Matthew Nyes, and this kid's gonna be like a first round draft pick next year. He's probably the best player I've ever played with. Like he's legit. And he's an O2, so
Yeah, the running joke talking about younger guys. The running joke, we'd be sitting there on a Thursday night up in college town, just doing our thing, doing what college kids do on a Thursday night. Not going to say anything about what that is, but
so just suggest a little more.
I could, but
This is like an Easton type of lead up.
No. I'm just saying it's not even a question. I'm just saying like we would sit there and be like, yeah, like I wonder what Benji's doing with the high schoolers right now.
He's teaching his teammates how to drive.
I was gonna say probably either teaching them driver's ed or tucking them into bed right now so they could get up at 6 a.m. for high school the next day.
Telling them how to talk to girls.
Okay.
Teaching them how to
Benji,
talk.
I have a question. This is a legit question. Was it weird to go from playing with a cage to a visor, and then next year you're gonna be back with a cage on?
Yeah, I mean, it was initially going to visor was bizarre. Like I would get scared, man. Like I would always notice.
Dude, I would never play without a cage on. If I lost a rack of teeth playing beer league hockey, I would probably kill myself.
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
you're
do
not gonna
anything.
get college out of it.
You guys see that this tooth is a little chipped?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's not gonna help you see if you get closer. This camera's not getting closer.
Well, it doesn't
that
matter.
happened in
My eyes,
practice.
like, really.
Like a kid, it was like practice was over, and a kid, like one of our teammates, tried to like hit my stick out of my hands, and it just like launched my own stick up into my tooth and just like chipped the hell out.
Were you pissed?
Yeah, I was so pissed.
Did you punch him?
But it was an accident. No,
That
I
was his
just-
first
You
junior
should've
fight.
beat the- Ben just beat the shit out of his
After
teammate after.
practice.
His teammate ends up with no teeth.
Dude, but yeah, going like I
My brother
remember
in a while.
like my parents pointing this out to me that if like I would like get hit or like hit somebody hard or whatever, and it would be like up here, like just my face would get touched, and like the next like few shifts after that, I would play way less like aggressive. Like I would be back on my toes a little bit more. Like I wouldn't be like putting my nose in things and everything, and so that was
These
like,
balls to block a shot.
dude, yeah, it actually does. When you take your cage off, man, you want to like put your your glove up, but you like. I mean, you can do that. But
I think that's the reason I didn't make USHL. I couldn't play without a cage.
if
Yeah,
I had to nail
same.
down to something, that was probably be it. Yeah, you should
That's
ask
probably like
Lyle.
one of the big factors.
You should ask
Maybe-
Lyle why you didn't. I bet he has some reason.
Oh
You
no,
took a
he's got like
partnership.
9. I'm not one of his top 10 favorite hockey players anymore. I had a good run, but now it's. I hear a lot more about Benji than I hear about my beer
I was
league.
gonna say it's
Summers, we hear a lot
Alfred
of-
Summers.
What?
Lyle is my biggest fan, and also Jack Summers' biggest fan.
Yeah, no, you don't. You're not like in the same level.
No, I don't expect to be.
It's cool though. I
Does it
mean,
make sense?
you'll get there one day.
Does it make sense that like why do USHL? Like every single like 90% of those kids are playing like Division I college hockey in the next 2 years. Like why do they? Like I don't.
Well, college you can't because of like the liability and stuff. Like
Yeah.
imagine a college getting sued because
Mhm.
Benji, his teammate, knocked his tooth out.
Yeah, they don't want to be liable for anything. Yeah, they don't want to. They could just like pay for dental,
Yeah.
and they'd be fine.
They're already paying
They're
for your
worried
school.
that
Why would they
Noah's
pay for
gonna come
dental?
out to a.
That's
They're
true.
worried that Noah's gonna come out to like a family scheme. They're both just gonna kill each other on Arizona State property.
I feel like you thought that was a lot funnier than it was.
No,
Yeah.
his laugh kind of got me.
I thought it was funny.
Clearly,
No, me and Noah are in a good streak, man. We haven't fought like that in years.
I remember the first time I went to Joe's basement. You and Noah fought inside, and then it moved outside and came back inside. And the entire time, I don't think Noah took a single breath because you were choking him out. It was probably the coolest thing I've ever seen.
It gradually
started 'cause
went from
they
serious
lost.
to
The
unserious.
best.
Noah
The best
lost
would
in
be
ping
Benji.
pong. That's why he got so mad. And Benji was like, "Don't get mad because you lost." The next thing I
Yeah,
knew, he was
Benji would be like
outside.
choking him out. He'd be like, "All right, dude, just stop." Like tap out. And Noah would be like, and then like, tap out, and then he'd get up, and then Noah would just go right back at him. But he'd just choke him out again.
I remember in like third grade, I went to Benji's house to play mini sticks, and I like removed myself from the game because the whole game was just them fighting and me getting like sticks like thrown by my head. Like I've never been so scared in my life. Before the third grade musical, when they got in a fight, and I thought we weren't gonna go to the musical.
Great musical.
I was watching that the other
Disposable
day.
Society.
You had a solo, Benji, and Connor had a solo, and
Dude, I
Connor's
want to
solo
watch
was
that. We need to
intense.
watch that.
I'll send you guys it. Connor's solo is the most intense thing I've ever seen. He's like
Dude,
putting his
it's
hands up in the
definitely
air and like dancing. And Benji was just standing in the corner singing his like he was like pissed off, like, fuck this, man. I was dying laughing at it.
Dude, I was probably just so nervous. I get all serious when I'm nervous. Just
Oh, dude, you look like you sounded like you were like 40. Your voice was like incredibly deep for some reason, and you're like hiding behind like the curtain on the side of the stage. It's so funny.
oh my god.
I watched
Dude,
my.
I
don't-
ass.
I don't
I've been
remember.
watching a lot
I
of
didn't
old
even know I had a
videos, like-
solo. That's amazing.
Dude, I have so many old. I saw one of Connor in kindergarten. He was a troll under the bridge in Billy Goat's Gruff, and his mask fell off, and he wouldn't say his line. And then he got really mad at the end when he wouldn't say his name. So I said my name, and he punched me in the face. He goes, "I'm saying my name now."
That is not true.
No, I'll send you the
Making
video.
shit
Do you want?
up.
No, do you
Yeah.
want to see it?
I do. That was
Dude,
definitely.
what?
It was like a stiff arm. Maybe not a
He,
punch. but
lo-
you stiff
he
arm me like
loves to
this.
embellish every single story.
Do you wanna
Nick,
see it?
Nick does love
I do.
embellishing.
He does love embellishing them, but I don't know. I believe
Dude,
it.
you stiff arm me in the face, and your mom said, "Excuse me."
I believe the basis.
And now
of
I
the
believe
story.
it.
And then Miss
I
Roney,
believe
Miss
it.
Roney in the back goes, "Hands to yourself."
Miss Pepperoni?
Miss Roney. You don't remember our kindergarten teacher?
Does she have the roadies?
No.
Dude.
Does she have Roni? That's a good question. So speaking of brothers, in billet houses you tend to have billet brothers. Describe describe the billet situation that you had while playing juniors.
I mean, my billets were great. My first billet was we was a cop and a teacher, and we had a little billet sister. She was 7. That was fun. No, it was a good
She
time.
really liked that, yeah.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like my Bill family was fantastic. Like my Bill dad is a goofball, like like just a dude I can like mess around with, and he was cool. Like he's always playing con stuff now. Like he's just like he's a little kid, like a grown up little kid. And then my Bill mom was really
Getting
awesome.
yelled at by Phil right now.
You what?
He was getting yelled at by Phil.
Dude, I thought he might be. I saw him take his earphone off. I was like, I hope Phil's roasting him right now.
All right,
Um,
I just had to mention that.
No, that was hilarious.
What?
Go ahead again.
No, this is like I think every time we try a podcast, it goes. You just hear Easy go mute, and he yells, "What? What?" What? I'm podcasting. Anyway, sorry.
Unmute yourself, Easton.
You're still getting yelled at.
Shut up.
What? Oh,
He's still getting yelled at.
but yeah, my billets were good. My second billet was good. My billet mom was like an angel in Tri-City. She was a saint. Like she would cook clean. She was like the only one that worked. She was awesome. And then my billet dad was, John, Big John. He was cool. He's like the biggest super fan in the world of Tri-City. He's interesting to be around.
We're gonna send this to him.
Besides me.
Yeah, biggest fan besides Connor. Also probably ate the most food besides Connor in the world.
No, Connor eats anything.
Good.
What do the bugs in like the garbage food count as food?
I mean, no, those are like snacks. Those are delicacies.
Spider off the rink floor.
Did he eat a cricket at the gym this year or something at the gym?
No.
You were debating it or something like that. I remember you telling us this.
Yeah.
You said, "Should I eat this?" I'm pretty sure. You think I'll eat this?
Yeah, I put it up to like my face, and I was like, Easton. We were like leaving the gym, me and Easton, and I was like, Easton, should I eat it? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. How much money? He's like, oh, nothing. And I was like, I don't want to eat it.
Garbage food. Gotta love it.
Dude, I haven't had any of that crap in years. I don't even want to be like.
You haven't had garbage food in years?
This has to be like edited.
No,
out.
you ate donuts out of my trash can this year at college. They're in the box in the trash can. You took the box out and ate 2 donuts.
No.
Yes, you did. I think it was before.
No.
What was it? Tyberski's Olympics thing. I swear, dude. I remember you doing that.
I don't know. Probably did.
All right. We'll move on. Benji, do you have any Connor stories for us?
I mean, my one thing I just really wanted to bring up was how much he loves garbage food.
Dude,
I just really enjoyed it.
moving on. Do you not know what moving on means?
Not like garbage
Well, you
food.
didn't
Like,
ask me.
not
I
like
answered the
garbage
question.
food, like junk food, but like food out of the garbage.
Yeah, like food, like a cupcake out of the garbage just for fun.
He tried to eat his
Like
whole hand one time.
if people peer pressure you enough, I think you'll eat literally anything. We made you eat like a bug on on Joe's trampoline one time.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure he offered to do it, and then
No,
we
the
didn't
best,
do it.
the best.
Yeah, I
was
think he did
Heartland.
offer to do it, and then we were like, "Yeah, you have to." He's like,
You think
"No."
I'll
We're
eat
like,
this?
"Do
Yeah,
it."
no, you should eat it. Okay, fine.
Dude, one you
guys
guys don't know is like in the summer ball tournament in Florida, the year before I left for like college, like we were also in like somebody rented like a house for the tournament because we were there for like a week, and like I had like a cricket that we drowned in tequila and I ate it and it like tasted like a tequila cricket.
That's amazing.
Okay.
They're gonna say you were fishing and ate like one of the worms or something.
Yeah.
No.
No, definitely.
Oh, I would actually. That's another story.
Oh my god.
When I played baseball in college, back in the day, I would like whenever it rained and we had tarp duty, I would eat probably like 3 or 4 worms and just get money out of it. I would pick up a worm and like go up to random kids on the team. Last year it was like the freshmen, and I'd go like how much if I eat this worm, and they'd be like $2. I'd be like, bet, and I like eat the worm.
Is that how you made friends in college?
Yeah, I like look at this cool. Look at this party trick. I'll eat 17 worms.
He finds a roach at the club. He's like, "Hey, you want to see me eat this?"
Yeah. You want to see that? And now for a little magic. I'm gonna make this roach disappear.
By far the best was when we were playing Heartland on prep, and there's like a spider that like crawls out of my bag or from under my bag, and I step on it, and Connor goes, "Eat it," and I go, "You eat it." He goes, "Okay."
Then he eats it, and the second he swallows it, he goes, "I think I'm sick." He starts like,
I proceeded to score 2 goals and get kicked out of the game for celebrating.
He turned into Spider-Man.
He scores,
That's the most
scoops the ice in
legendary
front of our bench, gets back up, looks at the Heartland bench, goes back down on a knee, shoots an arrow at them, gets a 10-minute major. He goes, "For what? F you, F this." The ref just goes, "You're out of here."
No, the thing is, he scored in one corner, jumped in the glass, came to our bench, then selling it again, and then stood up. Everyone mobbed him, and then he started selling again to the Heartland bench. And then when the ref kicked him out, he was like, "What the fuck did I do? Just celebrate my goal."
That might be the day you peaked, Connor.
Yeah. That was my second Gino of the game too.
was like 2 minutes into the game too. Then
Yeah,
we lost because no one
it
else
was
could
like
score.
it was like mid first period. Yeah, we were up 2-0. That was like mid first period, and I'm pretty sure we tied 2-2.
That's unreal. That is the most legendary Connor moment, though.
Yeah, he scored like
After-
2 goals in like 5 minutes. It was actually sick.
He was
breakaways,
on top of the
too.
world until he was just gone all of a sudden. Came
Yeah,
crashing down hard.
you peaked too hard.
Pretty sure Noah got kicked out of that game too for telling the ref to fuck off.
Noah did
No,
get kicked
Noah,
out of that game.
Noah fought some kid, I'm pretty sure.
No, but he
like,
told
flipped him.
I'm pretty sure Noah told the ref to fuck off right after Connor did, like maybe a period later, and the ref was like, "Okay, you're gone too." And then Don was like way more pissed off about Noah than Connor. Like, what did he do? The only one I can see, but this kid.
Don was a legend too. Oh my god.
R.I.P.
Yeah, seriously though,
Yeah.
he was cool.
I'm looking at the questions that we made for you, and this one didn't get asked, so I say we end on this one. Did you ever have any poop problems while in the USHL, such as having to
There's
go
an R one we
on the
didn't
bus
ask.
or during a game?
Any
I
poop
saw it.
problems?
Like, were you on the bus and you had to take a shit and you didn't know what to do?
I didn't. I never really had any moments like that. But there is a strict no like pooping on the bus rule. Like it's just
Really?
like,
I mean, that's how you ruin say team.
That's how it is,
camaraderie.
that's how it was for baseball too.
dude, yeah, because
Connor's on the team. There's definitely the rule.
If you take a dump on the bus, dude, it stinks up the whole bus. For
Yeah,
like
hey.
it doesn't get cleaned, so it just sits there.
Yeah. My sophomore year, I like first road trip is like down to Florida, right? And
Right.
a freshman did it like probably like 4 hours into the 20-hour drive to Florida. like we didn't like say anything yet because it was like our first time, like we forgot to. And a freshman like did, and like the seniors were all in the back and like had to smell it the entire like 16 hours left.
Dude, that's how. So like my seat is literally right next to, like, it was the farthest back besides one, like in the whole bus.
Yeah.
And there's like one of our like young kids, a kid who was my roommate, was going back there, and he was literally like coming back, like working through everybody. Normally, like he gave everybody like shit as they're going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
We were just like, "You're not taking a shit, are you?" And he's like, "No, like I'm not taking a shit." He's like 17, and we're like, "You better not taking a shit." He's like, "No, like I swear." And then he gets in the bathroom, and like a minute or two goes by, and I go, like, "Hey, Staples, like, are you taking a shit?" He's like, just no answer. I was like, "Are you taking a shit?" He's like,
He's either doing that or wanking one.
Well, yeah, literally. And so I'm like we're like trying to open the door. We're like trying to peek in the slats and stuff. We're like, "Are you taking a shit? I know you're taking a shit." And he came out like finally after like he'd been in there for like 5-10 minutes or whatever, and like finally came out and was like just like acting casual. We're like, "Did you take a shit in there?" He's like, "Yeah."
You guys banging on the door reminds me of when Connor went piss at the tailgate and people are just banging on the side of the porta potty, like flipping it upside down on him.
That's messed up. Connor doesn't think that's funny.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was probably the greatest thing we've ever done to Connor. We finally got him back.
Connor, I'm sad for you that you don't get to go to Thatcher this year.
I know.
I don't even think there will be one.
That's why.
They're not gonna have it. No chance.
We were talking about that on one of our first episodes about how it's going to be canceled. It's sad.
I heard the poop story episode. Great episode.
That's probably the greatest episode we'll ever have.
That might have been the peak.
We
of the
peaked
pod.
way too early.
Like I'm surprised. Like we haven't gotten like millions of comments being like, "Wow, that kid is really cool. He's just like me." Like I had a situation like that, and I was too afraid to share, and this kid was like felt like confident and vulnerable enough to share his most vulnerable story.
He was a freshman in high school.
Millions of comments hailing poop stories. Nobody.
No, hailing
hailing
my confidence that I was able to like.
There's gonna be no comments making fun
Like,
of you.
make
They're
my
all gonna be
darkest-
supporting you.
Yeah,
Yeah, this
making
kid's
my
a
darkest
legend. I
moment
love him.
shine.
He was like 15.
No, exactly. I was like,
I still think it's funny how I called you, said you shat yourself when you were 12, and you go, "No, I was 14." It was like way better the fact that you were older. If I was 12, it'd be so embarrassing.
Dude, when you first like introduced it, you were just like, "Yeah, like I pooped myself like one time in middle school," and like, actually, you know what? Like, one time when I was like 14, I think
I guess I
shat
can share this one.
I just like had to bring it up.
Dude, imagine being that employee that sees Connor walking at him with just a pants full of shit running down his leg. It's like bathroom. That was like kind of chubby Connor times too. He was a lot more intimidating.
Nah, I was
the two lunches and a bowl of ice cream.
The daily
Yeah,
ice
that
cream with
that was like nasty
sprinkles.
Connor shit, full of garbage food and cafeteria.
There's like spiders running around out of it.
for like people like so like outside of us, like my
Extra
like
sprinkles.
my lunchroom diet freshman year of high school was literally the lunch my mom packed for me.
That was healthy, and then he'd get mad about it because it was
Yeah.
healthy.
And then I would go have like 5 bags of fruit snacks with like 2 cookies that like they had, and like
Those
I was
cookies were not
all,
good for you, too.
no,
Those cookies were like this
when
big,
they-
but in
yeah, those were when they were like before Michelle Obama, and then and then I would like fiend for people. I would like go around the whole table like asking for money until I had $2.50 to buy an ice cream like soft serve bowl with sprinkles, and then I
You would ask for money. I didn't know
Dude,
that.
he was
I
like
would-
a beggar on the street. He was like on the corner, like someone.
I'm not
please.
gonna name
Starting
names. I'm
Dude,
not gonna
but-
name names, but like it was when I was chubby and like when the military would come and like do push-ups or pull-ups.
Pull-ups, yeah.
Yeah.
I had like a cast on. It was when I broke my wrist, and everyone's like, "You got to go and do a 1-arm pull-up and make a joke of yourself." And like I was like, "All right, now you got to buy me ice cream." And so I went up there. I went up there and got up, and the guy looks at me like, "No way, this little chubby freshman is gonna do a 1-arm pull-up." I get up there and I like wobble around for like 5 seconds, like going nowhere, fall on my heels, like almost fall on my butt. I walk back to the table, and like the kid had gotten me ice cream with sprinkles, and I just started devouring.
The other great thing about lunch in high school was senior year when us 4 sat by each other, and Connor, we'd all rush down there, sit next to Connor, sit across from Connor, and Benji would get there first and like sit there and like wait till the end of lunch to get his food just to avoid the splash zone. I remember that so vividly.
That hurts my feelings because I didn't know about
Right,
that.
that wasn't. I wasn't waiting there. Hold on, I wasn't waiting there just to like avoid the splash zone. I didn't want to wait in line either, so I would like wait there.
No, you would get there early enough. Like the line would be like just like tolerable,
Relatively
like, really
long, but not
short.
too long.
No, it'd be like pretty short. Like that's how early you get there. But you didn't want like someone to come back who's already in line and take your seat.
Okay, maybe you're right. But I also like sitting next to Connor. Like, come on.
Yeah, we all like.
Oh yeah,
sit
no
next
one
to
wants to
Connor
sit
that
across
year.
from him.
Well, anyways, I have a question. Are you excited to go to ASU? And what are your expectations going in? What have like has been told to you by like current players and coaches?
I mean, yeah, I'm super excited. Like, that's sort of a no-brainer. Like, I get to go to a relevant place. I get to go to a relevant place in America. Like, do relevant things. That'll be fun.
Relevant things like.
But as far as like my expectations for next year or whatever, like we have like a really good class coming in. So like, if I'm in the lineup, that's like about as much as I can expect. And like that's what I hope. Just like solidify a spot on the 4th line on the PK or something.
Are you living with a hockey guy?
Huh?
Are you like living with a hockey guy in the dorms, or how does that work?
Yeah, there's like 4 of us to a dorm, or 3 of us actually. There's 6 of us.
Dorms like apartments.
Yeah, they're like.
The dorms are really nice there. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a kitchen.
Wait, I got one last actual like hockey question. I don't think you asked it, but how did you find out that like the season was canceled?
Ooh,
And like what was the reactions and everything? Like did you
Well,
find
the
out from like
whole,
the
like,
coach or?
Basically it all went down like when we were watching that Mavericks game when like they suspended the NBA. Like me and my roommates were like at our house watching it, and literally our first thought was like I literally said like within 10 minutes I was like, yeah, we're done. Like we're next, like we're done for. And then the next morning we had practice, and then we were taking the bus to Omaha or to Fargo, which is like a 9-hour bus ride. And after practice, like there was just like a weird air, like everybody knew that like something was going on, obviously. And we kind of thought something was going on like beforehand, like that we were gonna get suspended like a few days before or whatever.
Yeah,
But
'cause
we
the
got on the
NBA
bus.
gets suspended. The USHL is
Yeah.
gonna.
Well, obviously, yeah. But this is like before the NBA got suspended. Like when it was just like soccer teams and stuff, we kind of thought it was like a possibility. But yeah, we got on the bus. We were on the bus for 45 minutes, and then we just turn around and go back. So like we pulled off the highway. We're all like, yeah. That's
Jeez.
it.
Wait, so you guys were mid bus ride when they canceled it?
Are you
Oh
kidding
no!
Lost
No.
again.
Oh no! You can just FaceTime and put him on the screen.
me? All right. FaceTime.
Is this hand on his head in your guys's?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like a lumberjack in mine.
he's not answering.
Oh god, maybe something worse happened. Forget his Wi-Fi. We got Benji problem.
Oh, it's connecting. No, we're good. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's still frozen.
You guys hear Benji?
No.
Yeah.
I see him twice though.
I can. Now I can.
Hey, you're.
All right. So next time Benji gets on the pod, he has to get better Wi-Fi.
Yeah. Maybe. Yeah. He needs something.
Do we do the would you rather? I mean, that was pretty much all we had question-wise for him.
Yeah. I mean, he answered the question. It was just my secondary question that cut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was.
I mean, you can pick which one we do for Would You Rather.
Benji, just get on FaceTime.
I like the one that's first on there. All right, Benji, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you guys.
Okay, so we're gonna do our last segment. It's called. Well, normally we do a bunch of segments, but we're gonna do one today. It's called Would You Rather. So today's Would You Rather? Would you rather be a bench warmer that makes, okay, let me restart. A bench warmer that makes the Final Four or is like a Final Four team, or would you rather be like the superstar best player on a team that only wins 2 games all season?
Oh, jeez. I would definitely rather be on the Final Four team.
Okay, why?
Because like if you're in a Final Four team, you're part of something special. You know? If you're on a team that wins 2 games, it's like nobody's happy. You're miserable. You know, who cares if you're the star? You're the worst star there is. You're the star of the worst.
Exactly. Clearly, you're not a star enough to make your team win games, so who cares? You're clearly if you're on a Final Four team, you're clearly a really good bench warmer.
Yeah, I kind of took this the other way. Like I was kind of.
I think that's a layup.
No, I kind of because I mean, I took this as either like John Morant, who's a stud, but like they still got bounced second round, or just like a bench guy at Michigan State. I mean, John Morant.
If you're a bench guy, you're not going to move on anywhere, though. Like, you're not going to go play pro hockey or anything. If you're the star on a team, you got a chance.
Yeah, that's how I took it.
I was thinking of like that, like say like for the majority 95% or whatever of college athletes, like that's gonna be it. So like if
So let's say you're Steph Curry and you're on a 2-win team in college, but you're going to move on and play pro. I feel like it's more beneficial to get the playing time as opposed to be like a bench warmer or like not get as much playing time on a really good team.
Am I still?
You're a star on a team that has 2 wins. You're really not like that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. So Nick, in your hypothetical, am I like even though I'm a bench warmer, I'm still
You have a chance to move on because you're like putting up huge numbers, but your team just sucks. Like it's like Benji on our summer beer league team. Like he's just better, but like the team like might not be that good.
but okay. Hold
Yeah,
on.
but we're talking about a D1 basketball team.
Basketball, we can talk about hockey, we can talk about any sport.
No, I'm confused.
All right, let's say you're on a college hockey team and you put up 60 points in 40 games, but your team only scores 61 goals the whole year. Like, would you rather do that or be like a player that's like blocking shots and playing 6 minutes a game?
Or am I going to the NHL?
No, in college. Like you can make the NHL if you put up 60 points, but you're probably not gonna make the NHL if you're playing 6 minutes a game.
I would rather be the guy that blocks shots. Unless I'm like scoring, if I'm scoring 60 points, then I'm gonna go to I'm saying like your career ends in college, no matter what. No matter if you put up 60 points or if you're the guy just blocking shots. I'd rather be the guy blocking shots in that case.
Yeah, if you're making the Final Four, I agree. But if you're just like a solid team, you're blocking shots versus a bad team, but you're getting a lot of playing time. So you'd be like, I don't know.
Nick's always been a big playing time guy.
Yeah, it's more fun than sitting on the bench.
I'd rather win.
Hold on, boys.
I feel like this is almost like kind of a stretch, but I feel like it's almost Benji last year versus Benji this year.
Stretch.
Yeah, very stretch, but oh.
That was definitely a stretch.
That was a big time stretch.
Dude, this video for this pod is gonna look ridiculous with Benji just freezing coming in and out.
Dude, it's gonna be so long too.
It's gonna be the
Benji's
most.
kinda getting-
Yeah,
getting
this is
heavy
by
now.
far our longest. So,
Do
all
you
right,
have to edit
final
it?
votes. Final
edit?
votes.
What?
I was asking Easton if he like edits the video.
No, we just posted it.
No, I lost one when we were recording it. It kind of got like messed up, so I'm not allowed to record them anymore.
Dude, this is gonna take forever to download to my computer. The last one took 45 minutes and it was like half as long.
Jeez.
So
All
that's,
right, final votes on this. I'm voting bench warmer.
Yeah, bench warmer for sure.
I go bench warmer.
I never really paid attention.
In this
to how we
situation
were
where you make the
discussing
Final
this.
Four, I'm going bench warmer.
Were we discussing this as like this All-Star kid is like a top 10 pick the next year? Like,
Easton, you were here this whole time.
I
Yeah,
wasn't
dude.
paying
No, your career
Okay,
is
then I'm a
over.
bench-
Nah, Easton, you always suck at like just random things in the podcast. Like
Dude,
you always have
we're
one bad
7
segment.
episodes in, and you're
He has
talking
one bad
mad
segment
shit.
every episode. Usually it's rankings when he ends up with like
Look how
2 instead of
disinterested
5.
he is now.
Sorry, I was
No,
holding
dude,
Benji
this
the
kid-
entire time.
This kid has the
He's holding us
worst.
back.
Like we do like top 5 for like rankings sometimes, and
All right, I messed up
He-
on one of them.
the last
Four of
last
them.
2 rankings, his team has had someone disqualified, and he has to play 5. Like he's only had 4 people on.
He's been
his-
shorthanded every
Okay,
time.
okay, Benji, listen to this. We did like top 5 Alexes, and like not even really looking into it, I did like Al Kaline.
His name's
Although
Albert.
His name was like Albert.
It's like the definition of
come
messing
on.
up.
Okay, I have a proposition.
Make him suffer.
So we're gonna make a spit and chicklets style podcast. I'm gonna come on as Paul Bissonnette, and we make Easton Gurnelli.
Easton's an off the camera kind of guy, I think.
He's a producer that just pipes in whenever we're wrong. He
Easton
can't
carries the
even be
camera.
producer. He loses his podcast.
Dude, that was his best podcast too that he's ever had. He lost it.
All right,
It
you
was
can be
dude, I
alright.
was on fire that podcast too.
Is that why you deleted it?
I came up with like some sick like segment here, like a good like debate, and
Dude, that was-
I just lost it.
That was actually like a pretty good one, and then Easton's like, you can't find it.
I was actually so dude. No, one of these days I'm gonna like somehow find it, and it's gonna be like our lost episode.
I think it's
Lost
going.
footage when we're huge.
We have like 1 billion followers. And Easton's like, oh yeah, here's the 6th episode we never actually posted.
Yeah, what's the
Okay.
like? We can end it now if you guys want to like end it, but I want to keep talking.
Oh, we're good.
So I'll kind of wrap things up. So we do a challenge update. Easton, it's been too cold to shoot. So you're excused. I still haven't thrown the football yet. So hopefully for next time for Friday or Saturday or whenever.
Hey, can I just get a quick update on how many grapes you fit in your mouth?
It was, what was it? It was
Wait,
Like
Benji,
14 or 16 or something like
I
that.
was gonna
No,
have
it's
Benji take
14.
a guess on what he thought it was.
I would have
You
guessed
can
like.
fit a lot more spiders.
I
It was
was gonna
14.
guess close for like 20. Like I was gonna just probably like 17.
Okay, so the next challenge is for me. It's how many reps of bench can I do at 135? I bet you I could do like 20.
I was gonna go 18.
I was gonna go 21.
So you want over Nick?
I'm hammering the over. Actually, I'm gonna
and
hammer.
Easton has under.
No, I want to take the over. I
What's
wanna
the-
You
take
said
the
you
over.
said 18.
Yeah, but I know once he gets to like 17, like he's just gonna kick in that 5th gear.
Yeah, until
Alright,
the
Yeah,
bar
what's the-
starts
what's the
crushing.
over
you.
under
Say-
Who's spotting you,
say-
Katie?
Yeah.
What's
Alright.
the over under at?
20.
20?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going over for sure.
Over.
I'm going 25. I think you get 25.
And if you don't get 20, we're all wrong. You're gonna look like such an
No,
idiot.
no chance you get 20. You're getting 18.
Wow. All right. Now I'm
Dude,
getting
I know testing numbers from like my like team, and I know the guys that got 25, and I know the guys that got 18.
of 135.
Yeah, or
I
like
can do like 4 or 5.
I'm videoing this like,
This is content.
yeah, this is definitely.
This is gonna put us on the map.
you guys
Outer
gonna have
bench
to start
pressing.
doing more ridiculous things.
Yeah, it's hard because we can't like.
You
There's
can't do anything right now. Is a
There's nothing to
problem.
do.
Yeah, like we can't be together. Like once we're together, the content's gonna get better.
Wait, so what's the goal for this podcast? Are we trying to get famous or what?
We're trying to get famous.
We.
Yeah, you're.
Yeah, Benji can become a recurring guest. Like our
I'd love
one
to be a
athletic
recurring
friend
guest.
can be on here.
Yeah.
Might as well have someone athletic in like
Also,
one
I
of these
want
boxes.
to. Here's what needs to happen. I'll be a recurring guest. I'll bring Al on with me one time,
Yeah.
and then once me and Al get the podcast experience we need, we're gonna start our own.
No, you can't. You
You can't we gotta create like a teamwork or like a symbiotic relationship.
a new
Like,
Barstool
okay,
Sports.
no,
You guys
Like
can
we
find
have
my
one, you
take.
guys have
yeah,
one. We meet in the middle.
exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
all right.
We can also
I'm
we
down
can
for
just put
that.
a bunch of boxes on this one. Have like
We don't
6 of
have
us
to be
on here.
enemies. We can be friends.
Closing thoughts. Anyone?
I would just like to say I am so happy you guys had me on. I thought the podcast started out a little rough. I was a little nervous.
Don't
but
be
I think At the
nervous.
end of the day, we did a great job. Thanks for having me.
Oh wait, am I recording?
The only thing that made me nervous was your Wi-Fi. All right.
Yeah, sorry about that too. My apologies.
Yeah, that was pretty embarrassing.
Today was April 15th. That was episode 7. We're the Utility Players Podcast, and we out.